south of Washington State, Oregon. Young people. Are there still young people here today? Young people, raise your hand. There you go. Young people, listen. Young. Yeah, some people have an estimation of you. These are friends of mine who are welcoming me. They do this every morning. Welcome to a new day. Gregory Berglund, CEO, Planet Earth. Where do you think this was recorded? The recording comes from where? You recognize these birds? Anybody recognize these birds? Now, they say that Kenya is the world's bird paradise. The most birds. And number 2 in the world is... This is a quiz! I am a professor! And you are my students! How do you know that? She says New Delhi is number 2 in the world. You agree? It is. Yeah, there you go. So congratulations. Yeah, really. What did you do to deserve that? Okay. So these birds at Dr. Trivedi's estate, you know, I have a room on the jungle, and every morning, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., the birds start welcoming, and the birds are in the process of meeting and seeking partners, and I'm the observer. And we are observers of the environment to a degree, and we are actors who have impacts on the environment. Now, in 2015 in Paris, France, there was a COP15 conference, COP-C conference of the parties. Parties to what? The United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. And all the countries of the world signed that. Exactly? Yeah, I got it right. And then what did the President of the United States do? He came along and said, it's not a good treaty. I'm going to withdraw the United States from that treaty, and he did. Although formally, legally, there's a little slower process doing it than just pronouncing that the treaty is dead to us. Now, what was the response from the United States? And I want to insist on this because don't think that our president has final word on anything when it comes to the environment. We don't listen to that man. He may think he has the biggest brain in the world, which he says, okay. I mean, a really big brain, man. Like, makes the rest of us feel like we're brainless. Yeah, and I can't believe that you are considering inviting him to be the chief guest at Republic Day. What quality would he bring to India? For me, it would be an insult to India to have the U.S. President come as chief guest. But that's your decision. You decide. And, he might do something between now and then. So what's the news from my home state? Trump takes the United States out of the climate accord. The International Climate Accord, agreed to by all countries. Suddenly Trump says no. Okay. In Europe since 1880. Okay, but it has nothing to do with climate change, right? Climate change is a hoax. Caused by the Chinese, according to Trump. Well, for me, Trump, if there's a big hoax around, it's Trump. So, we didn't get a clear answer to my question about the impact of Dr. Trivedi. So, what are the, let's suppose climate change really is happening, and you believe the science, and you think you might have to do something about it, and not just wait for the 175 gigawatts of solar energy to come online. Okay, so now, what are the things that you can do? The top 10 things. This comes from a movement in the United States called Project Drawdown, created by Paul Hawken. Around the time of the COP21 in Paris, you would ask this question of anybody who attended the Congress in Paris. And these are experts. These are the world's top people. Well, what should we do about this climate change business? What would you say today? What should we do? Hello? Can't hear you. Fossil fuel burning. Did you say that? Alternative sources of energy. Okay, there's one. Anybody else? I mean, like, have you thought about this before? Do you think it's an important issue? Do you think climate change is important? Does it affect you? It will? It won't? So what should we do about it?
Plant more trees. Plant more trees.
Plant more trees. Yeah, that's number 3. Which natural resource? Okay, what happened with Paul study? How much does it cost to implement something, and what is the result? The result meaning how much carbon dioxide can you reduce our emissions by doing something. So what they found out in a year-long study, and now it's published as a book, and it's very hard to find the book in India. It's not been published in India, but there is a movement. There's a worldwide movement. It's going into the schools, it's going into corporations, it's going into governments around the world. Project Drawdown. Make a note. Go online. Get on top of your fellow students. Get to know what this is all about. I have the book coming to the Institute today. So, the number 3 most important thing to do is stop wasting food. Yeah, and in the United States, we waste 1/3 of our food. 1/3, feeding 310 or 20 million people? How much food is that? And what happens in India? Wasting food? Not wasting food. Okay? Another topmost thing to do is to have a plant-rich menu. Have plant-rich nurture. What's the word in English? Organic. How did organic get in here? Why organic? No, I'm not against organic, but I don't think it figured. But having, what does it mean? A plant-rich food. Yeah, plant-rich nutrition. Why plant-rich? Because what does protein coming from animals do? Yeah. Okay, so anyway, India is already well advanced with respect to the rest of the world, right? Because you have a large proportion of your country which is vegetarian, right? Is it? What percent? What percent of Indians are vegetarian? More than 58%? Wow. Okay, so lead the world. Lead the world. We need leaders. We got Donald Trump leading the world. To what? To degradation, to hatred, to divisions, to slighting people left and right, who he doesn't like. If he doesn't like Muslims, he'll ban Muslims. If he doesn't like African Americans, they'll give them a hard time. If he doesn't like ladies, he will let them know. If he doesn't like judges, if he doesn't like Mexicans, well, what is this? What do presidents do that? Is that what a president is for? To tell me who I should like, what I should like? So anyway, there in the Project Drawdown, they've drawn a list of the 100 most important things to do to reduce greenhouse gases and go the other direction. And that's why it's called drawdown. You get to a peak. Drawdown means it's not happening today. Drawdown is not happening. We have increased our amount of carbon dioxide going into the atmosphere. Now, why carbon dioxide? Why is that important? Yeah, how does it work? Briefly, he's cutting me short. How does it work? Have you seen it? Have you seen carbon dioxide? Would you like to see it? I have it on film. I have a film. What are you laughing about? You don't believe me. You're like Donald Trump, fake news. Okay? You're telling me I'm going to show you a fake film of carbon dioxide being released into the environment. You don't believe me, do you? I have it. And I'm not going to talk any longer. I'm going to set up the film. It's going to be sitting here. You won't be able to see it unless you get real close. But you will see carbon dioxide being released into the atmosphere from different sources, mainly vehicles. Okay, so just while we're at it on food, I'll give you one last trivia question. And this is the result of the last year and a half. I've been working on a book on animals, because you understand that animals are disappearing and biodiversity is being diminished, and our ecoregions and our ecology is being damaged. By the way, what is ecocide? Ecocide. Here's a question for the panel. The distinguished members who are here today, I would like you to answer this question. What is ecocide? Yeah. Tanuja Trivedi knows the answer. The killing of an ecosystem. And what should we do about it? When you commit homicide, when you kill somebody, it's a crime. When you kill...
Reminding us regarding the need to really reduce the disaster effects of global warming through a climate change management. We are sure your suggestions will be digested and absorbed by all the learned teachers, educators, as well as the pupils. Thank you very much. Friends, we invite all the learned principals of the schools and colleges present here to kindly come and join our dais to present their views 1 minute each, because there is no time, but we would like to have their message and their ideas so that the same could be incorporated in our set of resolutions and recommendations. Principal, आ जाइए. और भी जो हमारे प्रिंसिपल लोग हैं, हॉल पे कोई बैठे हैं, आइए तो डायस पर आ जाइए. We would like to have the message